Okay.
So, do do you think we need to make an introduction, or do people know us?
I think they probably know us at this point. I don't think we need to do like a who we are, kind
Okay.
of thing.
Yeah. So I think everybody knows now that you are Kate and I am Jorunn, and and today it's going to be a very long video. So I don't think we're going to spend a lot of time introducing it. Let's just dive into the PowerPoint and show the lovely nail polish. But before we start, can you show me your nails?
Oh, my nails, they are
Oh, they're
red.
so beautiful. And here's mine. Nothing.
I almost went bare for this call too. I was going to use kind of a nail strengthener, and then I was like, no, I should do a color, just for the call. But I almost came with bare nails too, ironically.
That, oh well, but you're the nail aficionado here, so it's only fitting. And let me just say this to our viewers that when we decided on nail polish, I thought, what am I going to do? I never wear nail polish. And but then I started looking at nail polish and I saw the ones that you had suggested, and I thought, oh, this is so fun. I had so much fun. Even though I don't wear nail polish, it's a way to think about the essence of the seasons, right?
Mhm.
Hmm.
I agree. Yeah, and I wear nail polish, most days, partly because, I'm a cuticle picker and it helps keep me from, touching my nails, touching my cuticles, things like that. But over time, I've started to just find it a really fun way to work with my season. Have my little nail polish collection, just like I would lipstick. And, I usually just do kind of a plain, one color on all my nails. But when I look at nail polish stuff, on Pinterest too, I'm like, ooh, like this is so cool. People are doing different colors. They're doing like French tips with different colors. So I find it really fascinating, all the different things that people do with their nails.
Yes, it is. It is fascinating. And we are going to show people all the nice things that we found for the 12 seasons. So we are going to start. We're on. This is the
We
first
are
image.
on.
Doesn't that look nice?
It does. I love the little color card with it.
I do too. It's the NDU Colors mini cards, or I think they just call them color cards, and they're
Mhm.
picked one for each of the images here. And this is Dark Winter. And what did you call this? Skittles?
A
Skittle?
skittle. I
What?
guess they're called that, because of the candy, they're different colors, I assume. So yeah, this is a dark winter skittle manicure. And I thought that it was really fun because, dark winters can really get bogged down with this idea that they have to be, brooding and serious, all the time, and everything has to be dark and it has to be, moody. And, the colors are kind of dark and moody, of course, especially relative to some of the other seasons, but they can still do a lot of really fun, energetic things with their colors. And I thought this was such a good example of that. I love even just the mixture of, the metallic and like the cream finishes, the different colors. I just thought it was really beautiful.
I think so too. They're kind of dark and moody, but in a playful way. It's Dark Winter playful. It's lovely. Okay. And I picked this one and I really like it. Well, it has the same color on all the nails, but look at that metallic, what do you call it? French tip, but it's
Yeah,
met
like a tip.
is that
Yeah,
what
I loved this. I thought this was so pretty when I saw it. And I love that it kind of maintains that essence of like the French tip, but it's
Mhm,
not, as expected. I love
mhm,
that it's
mhm,
metallic. I just thought it was a really beautiful example that you picked.
mhm. I like it. I like it a lot. It's original, but not over the top. It
Hmm.
kind of goes with the winter essence. Okay, moving right along to True Winter. Another Skittle.
Another Skittle. Yeah, I liked this one. I think originally I was looking for Skittles because I just, was kind of fascinated by the concept. And I really liked that this one, was sort of monochromatic. It had this range of blues. Some True Winters can actually be quite reserved, in a way. And so I liked that it wasn't too out there. The pinky, you know. maybe it's a little summery. I don't really know. It didn't feel off to me, in the context of the Skittle. I thought it was kind of fun. I do think that if you are going to go off palette a little, like nail polish can kind of be a fun way to do it, depending on how particular you are about how colors look on your hand. So I just thought this was really fun. It just really captured like the essence of those true winter blues to me.
Yes, and I think I agree with you that nail polish is such a small little piece of color that if we're not totally on season with it, it doesn't really matter. It's far away from the face and it's a tiny little detail. So if it makes you happy, do it.
Yeah, especially on the toenails. Like I get a lot of clients who say, I'm never giving up whatever color it is that they love for their toenails. And, it's very far from the face. That's great.
I
Works
think
for
so
me.
too. Yeah, toenails are great. All right, and here's my true winter example, which is kind of that dark aubergine maroon, cool aubergine, which I really like for winter. It could almost be a dark winter one, this one. And the little metal sparkles, so nice. And the fact that it's only on one of the nails makes it all the more interesting to me. It would be a little more boring if all the nails had it. I rather like that detail in this one.
I do too. I think the accent nail, is fun. And with it being I would guess from this picture, maybe it's the pointer finger, maybe it's the ring finger, but I've seen people, do their accent nail on the ring finger to kind of accentuate, any rings that they have.
Mhm.
I just thought it was fun. And it was a fun way to do an accent, I thought too, that wasn't, a completely different color. It was just that
Mhm.
little bit of,
Mhm.
the metallic or sparkle. So I thought that was really fun.
It's more subtle than the last one with the aqua light
Hmm.
milky. But same effect, but more subtle. Okay, over to bright winter. I love this. I love this intense magenta fuchsia pink on a bright winter. So nice.
Me too. I thought it was just kind of a quintessential bright winter nail polish
Mhm.
color. Like a cool hot pink, a cool fuchsia. You really can't go wrong with it. You could even do, I struggled to find one that I felt bright winter enough, but I've seen, where people will do kind of red and pink, almost like a Valentine scheme. But I just thought, for bright winter, and lipstick and nail polish, hot pink is kind of a very easy go-to. And I really liked, with this particular, person, how the pink provides such a nice contrast against her skin tone as
Mm.
well.
I love
So I thought that was really pretty.
And you know what else I've really liked about this image? Look at that ring with that
I
little
know, I thought that was
the,
so cute.
the brilliant green. It has such a nice complementary color thing going with the nails. So
I
minute,
agree.
but lovely. All right. So here was mine, the one I picked. It's kind of a classic maraschino cherry red. It's like what the quintessential red for bright winters. I find it alluring. It's really nice.
Yeah, I thought it was perfect. I love, this type of classic red for bright winter. I think maraschino is the perfect way to put it, or sometimes I'll describe it as like a cherry popsicle,
Mm,
where it's just kind of that, red has that tiniest bit of pink, undertone to it.
mm,
And it looks very elegant, on bright winter. It's elegant, but it's fun at the same time.
mm. Yeah, I agree. All right. Well, I think did you pick this one, didn't you? We had to have like a bonus bright
Yeah,
one.
I struggled, originally I was looking for, Skittles for all of the seasons. And with Bright Winter, I really struggled to find one where the colors, that were shown were all not only cool enough but bright enough. And so when I saw this, I thought it was kind of a fun example of more, like that true winter image you had picked with the accent nail. You have this kind of royal blue. It could be true winter as well. But then I thought that this, sort of golden taupe was a really fun, shiny, glittery accent for bright winter. It still kind of has that seriousness of winter, but then it has this little like sparkly pop. So I just thought it was really fun.
That frosty playfulness that bright winter
Hmm.
have, the fairy dust. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was a
I love
great
that.
yeah. Yep. Okay. The second bright season, bright spring, and a wonderful skittle.
Yeah, I thought this one was really fun. It's very tropical. What I really liked about this was actually the addition of the purple in
Mhm,
here. It wasn't all just this kind of like fruit salad scheme.
mhm,
You had this little kind of cooler, bright spring color popped in there, this sort of like warm, almost grape kind of purple. So I just thought this was really fun. If I saw somebody wearing this like in public, I would have to tell them like how much I liked it. I just thought it was so cute. And I liked this, little ring here too. It just kind of added to the whole image for me.
I noticed the ring. It was really kind of added a natural but playful detail. I like it. Okay, here was mine. I I'm fascinated with this kind of blue for bright spring. Um, I guess that's why I picked it, because I could have gone with something orange or bright pink is actually really nice on a bright spring too, but I thought let's give them some blue. It's a playful kind of blue. Mm.
Yeah, I like this too because I think for a lot of bright springs, they're when they're looking for nail polish, they're thinking coral, orange, yellow. They're going for those like more kind of stereotypical bright spring colors. And bright spring has so many beautiful, like bright, um, almost like resort blues, that I
Mhm.
think are just really pretty. And I loved even just, with this particular color or this particular image, how just like glossy and kind of juicy the color looks on the
Mhm.
nails. I think the glossy finish is just really, really pretty.
Mhm. Yes, I like it. It's very delicious. And True Spring, it's kind of similar to the Skittles for the Bright Spring, but it has even more juiciness to it. And without the purple, it really brings that fruit, the True Spring fruit salad out to me, which I love.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was, actually a good example of the saturation difference between, True Spring and Bright Spring too, where Bright Spring is just like a little more, intense, and True Spring is still quite vivid, but it just kind
Mhm.
of softens a little bit. I thought it was just really pretty. It kind of reminded me of like, the 60s on the beach or something. I thought it was really
Mhm.
pretty.
Mm. Yes. And here's one that I picked for True Spring. I I like the fruitiness of this one too. Maybe the addition of the palm tree leaves in the background doesn't hurt. So, and the transparency and the delicate, yeah, the
The whole
whole,
vibe.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, this like guava pink I think is so pretty because I think True Spring, they often kind of shy away from pinks and they can kind of do a pink. It just needs to be more of like a tropical type of pink. And I think, with this, orange, it's so pretty. And I just think this is such a creative way to do the nail. Like this would never occur to me, in my mind that I could do something like this. And I am not capable of doing something like this. But, I thought it was so pretty, so interesting. Again, kind of like a really punchy version of like a French tip.
Mhm.
I just thought it was like so cool when I saw it. I was really delighted.
Yes, I think you'd need a professional nail artist to pull off this. It would be hard to do on yourself. I think possibly, that pink on its own, if you isolated that pink, it wouldn't really be a true spring nail color. But I think because it's put next to the orange, it totally works. It gives that fruit punch, guava feeling. Mm.
I agree. I think it's a good example of, you know, kind of not always having to be 100% perfect, with your colors, as long as like the overall feeling kind of works. Like when you're swatching a pattern, for example.
Mm.
So I thought it was like a really practical and kind of fun example, and as much as it's like an aspirational example, with how interesting and detailed it is.
True, very true. Okay. Oh, bonus for True Spring. Did I pick this? I think I
I
did.
think you did, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good for me. I'm really pleased. I'm really pleased about it, and it has that, I don't know, the peachiness of it and the gold touch, and even the ring, such a springy ring. I really
Yeah, the
like it.
ring is beautiful. I love how the ring, echoes the sparkle, on the accent nails. And I thought this pattern on the accent nails was just really, you know, cool. Like it's not that, it doesn't even look that difficult. Like I think if I really wanted to take the time, like, I could maybe do something like that on my nail. I think a regular person, who's not a nail tech,
Mm-hmm.
could. So I thought that was like a really fun example. I really like this kind of base color on the nail as well. It's kind of almost that like milky apricot shade, that you'll see for True Spring. Like it's very, very pale. Um, I just thought it was really pretty. And I love this example too of the kind of darker, apricot that you picked too. I think it's like a good example of, that brightness that True Spring has in its like more neutral type of colors, compared to like True Autumn where it would be darker and a bit heavier. So I just thought was really pretty. I love the ring too.
I think the juiciness of this really puts it in the
Hmm.
spring territory. Although if you isolated it, you could put something olive with it and call it
Hmm.
autumny. But in this combination, I don't know how do they do that narrow little line? There must be some
I would
particular,
guess, yeah, probably some special little tiny
yes.
brush. I've seen people do stuff like that with toothpicks too, but I would guess if people are serious about, doing their nails in a fancy way, they probably have those little detail brushes.
Probably. It's the gorgeous, gorgeous. All right, now we're moving on to light spring.
Yeah, and I
And
think I picked this one,
yeah,
I
I think
believe.
you did.
And I think one of the things I liked about it was almost like the reverse of how dark winter feels like they have to be moody and like, dark all the time, is that sometimes I think light springs can feel kind of hemmed in by this idea that they have to be, preppy and punchy all the time. And, as much as the colors are, very, kind of like light and vivid, there's still like a seriousness here that I kind of like by having the three nails the same color. It kind of like
Mhm.
maintains a little more seriousness, so especially with this kind of darker blue, and then you have these two more accent nails with the aqua and the pink. So I just thought it was kind of fun, and I liked, I think the background helped, and the denim sleeve made me like it even more, because I could just imagine like a light spring wearing this very easily.
Yes, me too. This is a wonderful example. And this is the one that I picked. I absolutely love this. It has that perfect milky. It's not the lemonade kind that the light summer has, but it has that milkiness which I associate
Mhm.
with the light spring, and the delicate transition between the colors, and it's really, really nice. And the ring,
And the
somehow
ring, yeah.
the
We seem
ring.
to like rings. We both, in the accessories, I think we both picked a lot of, cool rings too in that video. Yeah, I like this. Reminds me of like sherbet or like sorbet or something. It has that
Mhm,
just really
mhm.
milky, creamy, but still kind of, vivid aspect to it that I think is really perfect.
Yes, I like it so much. You know, it has nothing to do with nails, but what is that the way of wearing a ring on this part of the finger? Is that something she's done just for the photo, or do people wear rings on that part of their?
People do that. I've never figured out how to do it without being anxious all day that I'm going to lose my
Me
ring.
too.
Although,
Mm.
although I have very like, tapered fingers, like, I've kind of thicker knuckle. So once I put a ring on, I know it's going to stay there, you know, but above the knuckle, I'm always afraid that it's just going to kind of go flying. But I've seen people do it and wear it very well. So I don't know if they're maybe, I think they're sometimes wearing it a little smaller than they would wear under the knuckle. But I'm just too paranoid that I'm going to lose my ring. But I like when I see other people wearing them like
I
that.
do too. I think it looks so dainty. It's
Hmm.
wonderful, but yeah, it's interesting. Okay. Moving on to light summer. This I love. It's Skittles, but very subtle. Subtle Skittle. Subtle Skittle.
Hmm. Yeah, to me, it's like a almost like a strawberry milkshake, you know, type of Skittle.
Yeah.
It's, you know, I liked that it was the same color family.
Mm-hmm.
It was very fun. I just thought it was really pretty.
Mm-hmm. It's really,
And I
really.
even like, I think this person has, you know, a tattoo as well that I kind of like as an example for light summer because it's not super dark. You know, it looks like it's maybe faded, you know, over time, kind of
True.
like, you know, a light summer black. You know, a lot of the time it's a little more, you know, soft.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, I never noticed the tattoo until you mentioned it right now.
I didn't until just now either. I just happened to see it and think,
Nice.
huh, you know, I
Yeah,
like that.
I do too. Huh. Okay. I think this is the one that I picked for light summer. It's I picked it because it's so delicate, um, and as opposed to the one that was in the other, it's kind of, let's look at that again. This has the kind of the maximum intensity that light summers
Hmm.
have, and this is the other end of the scale of intensity that light summers have. And it's nice to show both, that they can be transparent and delicate, and also kind of use that maximum intensity too.
Hmm. Yeah, and I thought this was another fun take on the French tip, you know, where it is a
Mhm.
color that if someone saw them, you know, from across the room, they're not necessarily going to notice. I think that it's pink immediately. It's one of those things where it's a surprise, you know, kind of when they get closer, like, oh, you have a really cool nail. And I agree, like light summer, I think has a lot of versatility where they can go quite punchy, but then they can also go, you know, pretty delicate like this too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. And bonus, I could not help myself. But I think actually what I really liked here was the hair, and then the way it's a very transparent nail polish, and then a strip of color straight across. Isn't that original? I really
I
like
thought
it.
that was really fun. And another good example of something that, you know, a lot of people can handle doing at home too.
Mhm.
I even kind of liked the black, you know, because I find light summers, they kind of want to wear black. Like I think it's like a rebellious thing that they have where they kind of are like, well, I just sort of want to wear a little bit. And I think if you're a light summer who just wants to implement a little bit of black in your wardrobe, this is like such a good way to do it. It kind of provides like some fun contrast. It doesn't take over. It's not a huge block. I think they could even do, you know, one of their kind of more saturated colors with like a little stripe of black on top if they wanted. So I thought this was really fun. And I agree. I really liked the hair color. It kind of reminded me of like cotton candy or something.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. This is it's rebellious, but in a very delicate light summer way. And
Hmm.
light summers can use black if it's done as delicately and minute as this, because it so quickly takes over. But this is so fun. Such a nice example. Okay, over to true summer.
Yeah, and I think I picked this one.
You
Um,
did, you did.
yeah, and I think what I liked about it, you know, was a couple different things. I liked how, you know, kind of milky the blues were. And I liked, you know, seeing this in contrast to the true winter where it was just a lot kind of deeper and more saturated. And I liked that this was a similar color scheme, but it just kind of took it down a little bit. I
Mhm.
love these type of really almost kind of like periwinkle, like blues and purples, where it's like you're looking at it and 1 second you think it's blue, 1 second you think it's purple. I love those types of shades for true summer. I think that they just work, you know, really beautifully. And then I liked seeing, you know, this navy on the thumbnail as well. You know, I think navy is a great neutral for true summer and it doesn't look too dark here. It looks like it still has a little bit of that mistiness that true summer needs.
Yes.
So I
Yeah.
thought this was just really pretty.
Yes, I think I see a lot of mistiness and milkiness in these blues, and they're just perfect summer blues. I like it. And that fresh white. So it's not,
A fresh cream.
Mhm. It's really nice. Okay, here's another. I think you picked this one
I
also.
think I picked this one too. I think I found so many good True Summer nail polishes. This one, I kind of liked in contrast to the other one where it's still sort of that like monochromatic scheme, but I liked that there was sparkle because I think True Summers sometimes shy away from sparkle, but if it's done well, it can be so beautiful and, kind of look like, light on water, or like it just kind of adds to that magical quality that I think their colors have. I think earlier you said fairy dust as an example of sparkle, and I think that's a really good way to look at it. So I thought this was just really pretty. I liked the way that the purple was on kind of the pinky and thumb, and then you have this like, very pink on the three middle fingers. I just really liked it. And I even liked, her kind of sweater color in this picture. I thought it was a good example of like a true summer, kind of like off-white.
Mm-hmm. Yes, this is how True Summer would do beige. It's kind of not quite off-white and not quite taupe. It's very delicate. And I particularly like the touch of blue in the pinks because
Mm-hmm.
I was imagining these nails also with a jeans jacket or blues, which would tie very, very nicely together.
Yeah, that'd be really, really beautiful.
So did I pick any? Oh, yes, here's mine. Here's mine. I went for yellow because yellow is an underused color by the summers, and it's
Mm-hmm.
really hard to find their best yellow. But I think this is great. And look at the mix of they use the yellow as a French tip mixed with a solid color nail. I think that's really nice.
I was really excited when I saw that you'd picked this because I agree. True Summers, really, most people kind of shy away from yellow, but Summers especially. I loved that this had that kind of green quality, that the true summer yellow has. It kind of reminds you of like a true like fresh squeezed like lemonade where it has that kind of greenish, note. And I thought this was a really good example. And it goes so well with her sleeve too, which looks to be,
I know. I
really a true
like.
summer color. And the background, I thought it was just like I was really excited when I saw you had picked this.
I was pretty pleased with myself for finding it. Okay, over to soft summer. We're moving slowly into autumn territory. And you picked this one. Tell
I,
me about
yeah,
it.
I think I picked this one. I liked this one as, kind of the almost like lighter, sunnier side of soft summer because they have, that quite dark, almost a little bit brooding side, but then they do have that, more like vivacious side as well. I liked the seafoam green, which is a color that I usually really like when I have a soft summer in my studio. Like that color is usually just like a wow, kind of moment for them. I really liked this kind of gray purple. I really liked the ring in this image too. I thought it was a really good example actually of like soft summer gold and this kind of like warm, like slightly warm stone. I liked that in this image too. The colors are repeated a little bit. You have, if
They're
not the same
connected.
color, very similar color, yeah, on like, four of the nails, and then that just middle finger has that kind of purple accent. So I thought it was just like a really fun thing to do. I liked it.
Yep, it's very soft summer. And this is how soft summer would do playful. I agree. Okay, here's mine, which is more subdued and more possibly towards the terracotta rose autumn influence of soft summer. The vintage rose and the beautifully summer gradated, variegated color scheme, which is really so beautiful on them. And also the sweater, I really like the sweater is also a dead ringer for a soft summer person. It's
Yeah, I
nice.
love the sweater. I love that, these are all kind of good, lipstick colors too, with the exception of probably the lightest color,
That's
most
true.
summers. Yeah, I think it'd probably be a little too, lighter gray. But if I'm imagining a soft summer woman, just kind of holding her hand near her face, she's like, brushing hair out of her face or something, that connection between the lipstick and the nails is just going
Mhm.
to, for that fleeting moment, be like so pretty.
I think so too. Yeah. Oh, bonus, soft
Other one.
summer. I can't remember if I picked
I
this
think
one.
you picked this one.
Yes, it's just that teal blue jeans blue that is so appealing to me, and it has that soft summer feel. But this is probably really hard to do because it looks like shiny. The light is catching it, but it's actually gradated colors of nail polish, creating that
Hmm.
optical effect. This is
Yeah, it's
stunning,
kind of like an optical
stunning.
illusion to look
It
at it.
it does. It's artistic, very artistic, and very soft, summery.
Yeah, I like the little bit of kind of extra darkness like around the edges, it's where
Mhm.
it's like a little bit kind of leaning into that more brooding side, of soft summer. I just thought this was like such a cool nail design, like very interesting. And I like it with this sweater too.
It's just perfect. Okay, autumn, soft autumn,
And
and
I think I picked this, I want to say, can't
yeah,
remember though. Did you pick this one?
I don't know. I think so. I'm not sure,
Yeah, I don't
but
remember.
it's
It's such a
beautiful.
great color for soft autumn. I think that autumns do green nails very well. I think that's something that they do probably better than, any other season for whatever reason, that just kind of like all shades of olive, I feel like work pretty well, on the autumns. And I thought this was just like a great, kind of this is to soft autumn nails what like hot pink is to bright winter nails, for me, where it's just kind of like such a cool color. It's so perfect with all the other colors in the season. I thought it was just really pretty. Whether I picked it or not, I think it's beautiful.
It doesn't matter. Look,
Yeah.
to me, this is a very casual. It's a very
Hmm.
casual kind of nail, even though they're beautifully polished and everything. I don't know why. I think I seem to remember I had a very hard time finding red nails for the autumns. But I think green works perfectly. I think you put it really well that this is the pink of
The soft
of
autumn.
autumn. Yes, let's see what else we have. Huh? I
I think you picked this one.
I maybe you picked the last one because I know I picked this one. Isn't it cool?
I love this. I
Yeah,
think this is really fun.
it's kind of borderline true autumn, but I think a soft autumn could very well pull this off. And again, this stripe crossing the middle of the nail, it's doable on your own if you have a steady hand and a narrow pen brush.
Yeah, and I love this kind of gray green is such a great
Mhm.
example for soft autumn, really any of the autumns where it just has that warm tone to it. It's not that icy gray, it's just this like cozy kind of gray. So I thought that was great. And I loved this, kind of burgundy stripe as well.
And the ring. Look at the ring. It's really, really nice. I like it. Okay, moving into, oh, this is your skittle.
Yeah, another Skittle. I thought this was, again, you can kind of see that green, like we had with the soft
Mm-hmm.
autumn. I thought this was
Mm-hmm.
fun, for true autumn. The colors are just really, working with each other. I feel like I could see them all, in like leaves on the ground, almost at like the same time. I love this kind of like purpley color on the pointer finger, where it's to me a color that true autumns can sometimes struggle to find in clothing. So I think having it in a nail polish is like a really great way to bring that color, into your wardrobe. And that's one way that, I think that nail polish can really boost your season is like. There are some colors for some seasons that are just harder to find, but there are so many nail polish colors out there. You can usually probably find a nail polish in that color, even if you can't find a jacket or a shirt. So I thought this was like really pretty, that kind of like brownish purple. It's a little bit misty almost, but like very kind of saturated. And then, you have the goldenrod, the chestnut, the olive. Like I just thought it was perfect.
Mhm. And that the rusty red is the chestnut you called it on the middle finger.
Mhm.
That is kind of a mainstream classic red. If a true autumn wanted red nails, I think that would be
Mhm.
the color to pick.
It's
Um,
like a russet, just like
mhm,
really, really
mhm.
pretty.
Really, really nice. Okay, I picked this one. And look at it. Isn't it gorgeous?
This is perfect. I mean, the whole image is just like edible looking, like the whole thing just looks perfect. Like
Exquisite.
the ring is so cool, with the nails.
I know. It's almost like you took that ring and made nail polish out of it, or vice
Hmm.
versa. And then that narrow copper strip down the nail. It is exquisite. And what is it you call marbled? Is that the correct
Hmm.
English word? Is that marbled effect on the one nail? I don't know. This is just
It's
so,
like magical. I love to see
it's
that.
magical. Absolutely. So I think possibly also a dark winter could pull this off. Anyway, moving on to dark. I mean, did I say winter? I meant autumn.
You did, but we knew you meant autumn.
Yeah. You're so kind. Anyway, these you picked, and it is fantastic. Look at it next to the color card. It's just like example after example of perfect dark autumn colors.
That's like so vibrant. I think it really captures that like spicy quality that dark
Mhm.
autumn has.
Yep.
I think there's like a tendency to think of dark autumn as, more of like the cool side of it, but it still is like primarily an autumn. It has
Mhm.
all of these like warm kind of pumpkiny shades, these like sort of chestnut and russet, like reds and browns. I love this, metallic nail. Like I love metallics for autumns.
Yes.
And then this like brown was just so like rich. It reminded me of like a Turkish coffee or something, where it's just like that really, intense, like
Mhm.
kind of cozy brown color. And then this lighter color I thought was interesting too because dark autumns can kind of struggle finding lighter nail polish colors that look right
Mhm.
because they still need that depth. And I thought that was a really good example of that kind of like latte type of cream, that they tend to look really good in.
True. And also, I think this, like we talked about with the dark winter, that they struggle with what did you say, the brooding side, the
Yeah, like the
yeah,
seriousness.
seriousness. And I think the same goes for dark autumns too. And I think if a dark autumn allowed herself to be playful, this would be a perfect way to do it. Okay, this was my pick for dark autumn. And I love the way there is something like an amber quality to those nails. It's like you slivers of amber put on nails, which I thought this is kind of honoring the dramatic, serious side of dark autumn, and I think it's perfectly lovely.
Yeah, I love how this looks just next to the color card. It's like,
Mm.
just so like sumptuous looking, it kind of reminds me, this darker brown, like it has almost like a jelly bean quality to it. Like it just looks really, the texture is so lovely. And I was really excited when I saw that you had picked this because I thought this kind of like amber, almost like tortoise shell, like marble
Tortoiseshell, yeah.
effect was just so pretty and so, like quintessential to dark autumn. They look so good in these types of like earrings and
Mhm.
patterns and jewelry, that has this
Eyeglasses.
kind of effect. Yeah,
Mm.
glasses.
Mm. Right. Super. And that is the end of our presentation of the nail polish.
Thank you all for watching our video on nail polish. I hope that you learned something from it. We always have a lot of fun doing these little chats and like talking about the seasons. I feel like we learn a lot from each other, with what we each pick. I always love seeing like what Jorunn has picked. I love opening my email and seeing like what kind of nail polish did she pick out for this season, because it's not always what I would think to pick. And I think that's a really good example of how everyone's going to wear their season differently and like be drawn to different things. There's so many different things you can do within each season. And I thought the nail polish was a really fun way to show that.
Yes, surprisingly, I had a lot of fun picking nail polish. And also, as always, I really value your insight, and I think we complement each other, and it's always very interesting. So this was our nail polish theme, and we will be back with another
Yeah, I'm
video.
sure we'll be back.
I'm sure we'll think of something, and or maybe our viewers will send us some suggestions that we might.
That's a great idea.
Yes. Well, I hope so. So, let's say bye for now and see you later.
Bye.
Super. Okay. Stop